Welcome to another extraordinary week. I'm Juli Reynolds, nurse coach and host of this podcast. I want to tell you about a moment that changed my life. It's the kind of moment that no one else sees. And it all started in my kitchen, early morning, still dark, getting ready for work. Maybe there's one light on and everyone else is sleeping. I stood in front of my coffee pot, staring at my water bottle. And it's just nothing fancy, just a water bottle. But the water bottle represents a promise. It represents somebody I want to become, somebody I want to be. And here's what you need to know. I'd been breaking promises to myself for a while, tiny ones like I will get up early and exercise. I will write in my journal. I'll go for a walk. And then there are bigger ones like I'll take care of my body. I'll stop saying yes to everything just to be accepted. I'll figure out what I really want, and then I'll actually do it. The thing is that no one else could see that I was breaking my promises. I was still showing up, and I was smiling most of the time, or at least when people reminded me to. I was doing the job. I was being passionate and persistent and patient and dependable. Inside, I was eroding. Now, on that particular morning, I was tired. I was really tired. I was getting ready for another day of work, and I wasn't really tired from work or parenting or any of the usual suspects. I was tired of not trusting myself. So I made a deal with me. Just drink the water. That was it. No 5 a.m. workout, no green smoothie, 30-minute meditation, just one glass of water. Because something in me knew that if I could keep one promise, I could keep another. And then if I could stack enough of those small wins, I could rebuild something sacred, my self-confidence. I was on a journey of learning some new things. I was in a rough patch, thinking that I needed a whole overhaul and really wanting some big change when really it came down to the small change. Because that's what confidence is. It's not arrogance, it's not volume, it's not charisma. It's that quiet knowing that when I say I'll do something, I do it. That morning I drank the water. I stood there in my scrubs with yesterday's to-do list mocking me from the counter, a collection of supplements, which I probably actually took that morning, an app full of workout videos, all of the things. And I just whispered to myself, that's one. That was the beginning. It was the beginning of something that I call stacking the wins. And I've talked about it before as creating those non-negotiables and stacking them one on another. It's not glamorous, but it works. No one else notices it, but it rewires the brain. Each promise kept is a dopamine drip. It's a little high five to your brain's reward center. It's a whisper that says, see, you're becoming someone you can trust. Since then, I've stacked a lot of ones: morning water, stretching, stillness, moments of belief, mindfulness, aroma cognition, breath work. But it started there with one promise, one glass. So if you're listening to this and you feel like you've lost confidence, and if you're doubting your ability to start or start again, I want you to go pour yourself a glass of water, not because it's magical, but because you are. And when you drink it, I want you to whisper the same words I did. That's one. And that's how we start. That's how we come home to ourselves. And that's how we become people who believe in ourselves again, one promise at a time. That's reinvention. Attention growth seekers. If you're ready to up your game and ignite your potential to make every day a stepping stone towards your extraordinary self, join me, nurse coach Juli Reynolds, on an incredible journey of growth with the Growth Day app by Brendon Burchard. With the Growth Day app, you'll unlock the keys to your hidden capabilities and embrace a life filled with purpose, passion, and positivity. Start each morning with a dose of inspiration and motivation. By simply clicking the link, you can experience a free trial and immerse yourself in the power of the daily fire. These daily doses of wisdom and encouragement from Brendon Burchard will set your soul ablaze and propel you towards greatness. The Growth Day app is your one-stop destination for self-improvement. It offers an array of resources, tools, and exclusive content curated to help us thrive in every aspect of life, for personal development to health and wellness. And know that you're not alone. I'm on this journey with you. Together, we can learn to turn each day into an opportunity for progress and self-discovery. Whether you want to enhance your career, relationships, or personal well-being, the Growth Day app is your springboard. Don't miss this chance to experience the magic of the Growth Day app for free. Just click the link below and dive into a world of inspiration, guidance, and purpose. Click the link, claim your free trial, and wake up every day knowing that greatness awaits you as you default to your extraordinary self. So, today we're talking about something that's foundational to everything that you want to be or do or become, and that's self-confidence. We think we don't have it, but really it's right there. And this all came to light in a coaching session because I coach from a foundational belief that the people I'm coaching have everything they need, just might be right under the surface or hiding behind an obstacle that is standing in their way. And it really is just exposing that obstacle, finding that way through it or around it. Now, let's be clear, it isn't about ego. This is about trust. I heard a leader define self-confidence as your reputation with yourself. And I loved that. If it sounds a little intense, just stick with me because I'm going to show you how to build that reputation one promise at a time. So first of all, here's what neuroscience says. Your brain is a prediction machine. It craves patterns and consistency. And when you follow through on the promise, no matter how small, it registers as a predictable success. That activates the brain's reward system, increasing dopamine and reinforcing the belief that I can count on me. And this builds self-efficacy, the belief that you can influence outcomes in your life. And it's one of the most reliable predictors of long-term success, according to behavioral scientists. And guess what? You don't need to wait until you feel confident to start. Believe me, I did not feel confident. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't have even probably believed that that was going to lead me to following through on the other things. But action every single time comes before confidence. It's never the other way around. So in that stretch of days where I felt I was going through the motions, I had gotten up with good intention and just skipped my morning routine, telling myself I would do better tomorrow and then do it again and again. It wasn't catastrophic, but there was something deeper, like I said, eroding my self-trust. I was training my brain to not trust myself. So on that morning that I decided just to drink the water, just one change, I decided that that night I would continue that practice. I filled my water bottle the night before and I promised myself, you don't have to change your whole life tomorrow, but you will drink this water. And I did. And that sounds so simple, right? And we say it all the time, just drink the water. But it lit a spark, and understanding what that does in your brain, that small promise, becomes the beginning of winning. In my case, it was the beginning of a winning streak that I didn't even know I needed. So here's how to build the momentum from the inside out. First, rig the game to win. And that means stack your day with controllable wins. Try these. What time you get up. Maybe some of you need to get up 10 minutes earlier. Maybe some of you need to just forgo snooze options altogether. How much water do you drink? Win. How many business contacts do you make? Win. How many reps or walks or stretches you do? Win. A moment of prayer or meditation? Huge win. Call your mom, call your friend, call your kids. Soul win. Each one of these is a deposit into your confidence account. And the thing about confidence is it earns compound interest. So momentum is a magnifier. That's not just a catchy phrase, it's neurochemistry. As you rack up the wins, your brain reinforces those behaviors with dopamine and myelination, making those pathways stronger each time until all of a sudden you're just someone who drinks water all day. You're just someone who exercises, who gets to the gym, who gets up early and does their morning routine. Again, it's not magic, you are. That is a huge default to your extraordinary self. Now, let me flip this a little bit. This is a bonus on this. If you want to know what builds your confidence super fast, this is a supercharge. And no, it's not essential oils, although essential oils would be powerful for this to really set these habits. But I'm going to share with you something even more powerful. I know, more powerful than essential oils, more powerful than your brain alone. Believing in someone else, not vaguely, but specifically. Tell your friend, I believe in the way you show up for your kids. Tell your team, you're someone who finishes what you start. Tell your coworker, you're resilient and I see it. Those kind of believe in yourself compliments will propel them forward and will sharpen that skill that you have of encouragement. In spiritual gifting, we talk about that as affirmation. And when you give really specific compliments, it helps people build their skills. It helps them build on who they already are. So this week, let's be that person, the one that helps others believe again. And as you deposit your belief in others, you will feel it boomerang back to you and your self-confidence will grow as well. So your default to yes challenge is first of all, stack small promises, make them doable, keep them visible, and check them off. Create a streak. I love streaks because you get like 10 days in. You remember that game that you'd play back and forth on the playground? Maybe it would be like tossing a ball back and forth with your friend or your sibling, and you'd count and see how many times. Well, when you got to a certain number, you did not want to be the one who dropped the ball. And then you both became really invested. And then you became invested in the other person's success too, because it was a direct reflection on your experience. Create that streak. Once you get 10 days in where you've gotten up and done the thing, kept your word to yourself every single day for 10 days, do you want to miss the 11th day? I have a client who's in the thousands with his consistency on his morning routine. And it's an inspiration to all of us. And do you think he's ever going to break that streak? Well, I would think not, because who wants to go from 2000 and something to 0 again? All right. When you do, it's not the end of the world. This is kind of a make believe construct to keep us moving forward anyway, but it's very motivating. That intrinsic motivation gets going. But the neuroscience in that is dopamine hits, and that is what our brain craves. So your invitation, stack small promises, make them doable, keep them visible, and check them off. And then pour that belief into someone else every day this week. Be specific, be sincere, and be the mirror that they didn't know that they needed. Because you're not just building confidence, you're building momentum, and momentum changes everything. I share this all because I believe that you were created to live with confidence, conviction, and clarity. And it starts with the smallest promises that you keep today. And if you're feeling stuck, reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you, because sometimes getting out of your head with this and finding that one obstacle and finding out that you can overcome that one obstacle pretty easily, it just requires getting with a coach with the right questions. You can move that out and start moving freely towards building this momentum. I'd love to chat with you. So reach out, get on my email list and get more tips. Let's keep this conversation going. All right. If this episode spoke to you, would you please share it with someone who needs a little extra belief, or send me a message? What promises are you making yourself today? I would love to hear about that. Remember that you're not too late, you're right on time, and that life that you're dreaming of is just one promise away from unfolding in the most unbelievable ways, in the ways that you cannot even think or imagine, as you go out every day and default to yes, your extraordinary self.